and stones. It was the first day of school and there was a new girl in Dion's class. He examined her from where he sat. Oh, mercy, he thought. Did she sleep in the outfit or what? Shanika wore a black dress, which was weird because all the other girls wore pants. Her dress was too long and it was wrinkled all over. Her hair was a bushy mess. Dion couldn't help staring. Fortunately, he sat behind Shanika, where she couldn't see him. That's not much of a fashion statement for the first day of school, he thought. A couple of the girls looked back at her and shook their heads. Something smells a little overripe in here, a girl named Laquita whispered loudly enough that the new girl couldn't help but notice. That something wouldn't be spotting black wrinkles, would it? Arina snickered. Dion burst out laughing, along with several others. Excuse me, Mrs. Deming interrupted. It needs to quiet down in here. The classroom fell silent, but the teasing didn't stop. Over the next several days, Dion and his classmates noticed that this new girl had some sort of bizarre taste in clothing. She wore strange combinations of colors and fabrics. She even dared to wear the same outfit twice in a row a couple times. Who does that? Dion wondered, wrinkling up his nose. In the cafeteria, Dimarco, Malik, and Chekai made up a song about her. Shanika, I think you're sing. Yeah. They sang loudly. Dion almost choked on his food from laughing. The lyrics weren't really all that funny, but what made it so hilarious was that none of the singers could carry a tune. Shanika wasn't laughing though. Dion watched as she got up from the table, leaving behind a half-eaten plate of food. The singers and several others laughed again as she walked back to the classroom. However, the classroom wasn't a safe haven. The students seemed to be competing to see who could say the most evil things about Shanika. Sometimes the teasing got to the point of hazing, like the time the boys threw spit wet at her while she tried to ignore them, or the time the girls poured water on her when she was in one of the stalls in the bathroom. Still, most of it was just name-calling. Dion remembered an old saying his grandmother had taught him. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Looking at Shanika, he had to wonder whether that saying was true. Shanika's tears certainly looked real. A Bible verse that Dion had learned came to his mind. It said, "Let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be kind to one another." Ephesians 4 verse 31 to 32. Dimarco and Malik need to follow that verse, he thought. The teasing finally got so bad that Mrs. Deming tried to help. In an act of mercy, she began dismissing Shanika from school 5 minutes early, so the boys couldn't follow and heckle her all the way to her house. Unfortunately, the boys ran fast so they could catch up with her and make a nuisance of themselves. A couple times, Dion opted to walk home just to see the show. He felt bad for laughing at their sarcasm, but not bad enough to do anything about it. Whoa. One day when he came home from school, Dion's mom handed him the local newspaper. Dion, there's something I want you to read in the paper. She somberly announced. That's odd, Dion thought. Mom rarely asked him to read anything out of the newspaper. Once in a while, she pointed out one of his older friends on the sports page. A few times she showed him a funny cartoon in the comic
Section.
However, Dion could tell that today was different. Son, you had better sit down, Mom told him. Dion sat on the couch. As he read and reread the headline, Local House Fire Kills Teen, he felt moisture trickling down his cheeks. Mom put her arm around his shoulder. He wiped away the tears and refocused as he read. Shanika Lawrence was killed when a house fire destroyed her family's home. Tragically, this was the second time a fire took the life of a family member from this household. Years prior was this blaze. Another fire
To this place.
Another fire took the life of Shanika's mother when the girl was 3 years old. As Dion read the article, he felt sick. No wonder Shanika never dressed nicely. She didn't have a mother to help her know how to dress. No wonder her hair was always such a mess. She didn't have a mother to teach her how to take care of it. Dion had never teased Shanika himself, but he had laughed when others made fun of her. It bothered him terribly as he read the article in the paper. I never stood up for her. I never said anything in her defense. Dion knew that it was too late to be kind to Shanika, but it wasn't too late to be kind to other kids in school who were being teased and tormented. As he finished reading the article, he determined that it was time for him to be a different person. It was time for him to speak up for others who were being bullied. No, he couldn't change the past, but Dion would do what he could to change the future for other kids. Think about it. Have you ever been teased? How did it make you feel? I've never been teased, so I don't feel anything. What steps can you take when you see someone being teased or bullied? I don't really take any steps, but actually, I think I know the steps. First, you pray, then you take a deep breath, then you ask people to stop, then you make sure they stop.